Hello, very good morning to all of you. So, dear friends, we were discussing our analytical chemistry paper. The section first is there and it is related to the analysis of food materials. Okay, so food analysis is there and we are discussing the chapter. The name of the chapter is ash analysis. So, what is meant by ash? What is meant by organic inorganic residue? That all these we have discussed in last lecture. We have also discussed the types of analysis, in which there are main two types of analysis, and these are dry analysis and wet analysis. So in the last lecture we have covered the dry ashing technique. Today we are going to see the wet ashing technique. This wet ashing technique is also called as wet oxidation or wet digestion. It is also called as wet digestion. Means we are using solutions here, and in that solutions our sample is get digested. So that's why that technique is called as wet digestion or wet oxidation. All the organic matter is converted into oxides in the acid solutions generally, and that's why such wet oxidation is called as wet ashing technique or wet digestion process. So this technique has some advantages over the dry ashing technique. So in dry ashing technique, what is generally done? High temperature is used, and at that temperature most of the inorganic material is get converted into the ash. Okay, so the after burning or after incineration of that matter present in that food sample, all that material is get converted to inorganic oxides, okay, or phosphates or nitrites or nitrous oxides, etc. And in this case, in that case the temperature is very high, and so that's why it is a chance, there is a chance for getting decomposition of that matter. Okay, so that's why this wet analysis is generally preferred. Okay, so in one more advantage is that this wet analysis can be done or can be utilized where we have to determine some elemental specifications. Okay, so when one require some typical mineral analysis or elemental analysis, then this wet analysis is generally preferred. Then what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are that here we are going to use some concentrated acids, and hence for the use of these acids we require some sophisticated instruments or equipments, such as a fuming hood is generally required. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage. Now, as I have discussed here, these are some disadvantages that we have to use here acids here. So different acid combinations can be used for this wet analysis. Different acid combinations can be used, and these are nitric acid, that is HNO3, then sulfuric acid and perchloric acid, and then sulfuric acid, hydrogen peroxide. Okay, such combinations can be used, and these combinations are depending on the type of food material and the type of analysis. The next one is procedure. So what is the actual procedure for the this wet ashing technology? So it includes weigh accurately 1 gram of sample and transfer it into a volumetric flask. Transfer it into a Erlenmeyer flask, that is our Erlenmeyer flask means whatever, that is the flask that we are using in titration. Okay, then prepare a blank solution in such a way that that includes 3 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid and 5 ml of nitric acid. So this solution is called as a blank solution. Okay, and heat that sample up to a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius. So therefore, as this temperature is 200 degrees Celsius, so which is quite less, which is quite below than the temperature that we are using in the dry ashing process. So that's why temperature is less than 200 degrees Celsius. So that's why this technique is preferential. Then when we are heating that sample at this temperature, then brown yellow fumes are going to start. Brown yellow fumes are going to start here, okay, because this is the combination of nitric acid and sulfuric acid. When these brown yellow fumes are starting, and once these fumes are ceased and white fumes of sulfuric acid are going to start here, then at that time add more 3 to 5 ml of nitric acid. Nitric acid is added more, okay, when brown fumes of that nitric acid ceases and white fumes started. At that time, don't allow that solution to cool. In the hot condition itself, you have to add 3 to 5 ml of dilute nitric acid, okay. Then this nitric acid is generally oxidizing all the components present in the food sample into their corresponding oxides, okay. So that's why then once this procedure can be repeated, because this nitric acid is one of the essential component, and this nitric acid is converting the matter into their oxides. So we are repeating this procedure until we are getting a desired volume of that, or we are getting the desired concentrate of that material, okay. So that's why this is technique. This technique can be followed, these steps can be followed, repeated one again and again to get the desired volume in the concentrate. Then after that, cool the sample to room temperature or ambient temperature. Then transfer that sample quantitatively into the volumetric flask. Quantitatively means don't waste that sample which we have taken for the analysis, okay, don't waste it. So transfer quantitatively in the volumetric flask. Then dilute that sample up to the mark of volumetric flask. So if you are taking a 100 ml volumetric flask or standard flask, then it has a marking on the neck, and you have to dilute that sample with a distilled water or ultra pure water, let us say ultra pure water or deionized water, and dilute it up to the mark, shake well properly, and then use for analysis. So this is the procedure which is followed for wet ashing or wet oxidation or wet digestion process, okay. So these are the two main types of ashing techniques or ashing procedures, that is dry ashing and wet ashing, okay. In dry ashing we are using muffle furnace, and in that muffle furnace high temperature is used. Generally 500 to 600 degrees Celsius temperature have been raised, okay. But in wet ashing the temperature control is less, it is up to 200 degrees Celsius, and that's why due to this less temperature this technique generally used, okay. But only disadvantage is that in this case we are using here combinations of different acids, and all these acids are concentrated acids: sulfuric, nitric, hydrogen peroxide, perchloric acids. If perchloric acid is used, if we are using in this case, then it requires a very expensive fume hood, okay. A fume hood is generally required, and so that's why this this could increases the cost of production or cost of analysis due to the that expensive hood that we are using in this case, okay. Then the microwave ashing, the next point in our discussion is a microwave ashing. So ashing can be done, ash analysis can be done by using microwave radiations. So such instruments can be equipped, can be designed here. They are designed in such a way that microwave radiations can be used for the incineration process, burning process for that food material, and then it can be used for the ash analysis. So that's why there are again mainly two types of this microwave ashing techniques. First one is microwave wet ashing and second one is called microwave dry ashing. So again, dry ashing and wet ashing, both ashing techniques can be utilized, can be followed by using microwave radiations. So the first we will discuss one by one. So first one is microwave wet ashing. So in microwave wet ashing, there are again two types. So first one is closed vessel microwave digestion, as it is wet technique, so it is also called a digestion. Okay, so closed vessel microwave digestion, and second one is open vessel digestion system. In closed vessel microwave digestion, so the vessel is closed when we are using that microwave radiation for wet analysis. Then vessel is closed, vessel is kept closed for that vessel of the material that we have taken some material in that analysis. For that analysis, that vessel is kept closed here. Okay, so what is the advantage here? We can analyze 40 samples at a time. So this is one of the most important advantage of this technique, that 40 samples can be analyzed at a time. The time required for this microwave wet digestion is around 30 minutes. So less time is required for this ash analysis. So generally this closed vessel is generally followed. When we are using closed vessel, then the vessel of that material, or the, let us say, flask, or let us say crucible, is generally removed carefully, because when gases are formed at that temperature, when the gases, our components are get converted to gaseous substances, then that due to the pressure of that gas, that may rupture, that may break the vessel. Okay, so that's why care should be taken while opening or while keeping that vessel closed. Okay, then the second one is called open vessel digestion system. Open vessel digestion system is used when the sample size is very high as compared to this. In this case, we are using generally 1 to 2 gram sample for the ashing process. Here the sample size is about 10 gram. In this case, we are using here 6 samples. 6 samples can be done analysis for when we are using open vessel digestion. This technique is generally followed when the food material or food sample is producing large amount of gases. Then these gases may break that system, or they may cause interference. So that's why instead of keeping the vessel closed, let that vessel open. So open vessel system is generally used in this case when the formed gases are very large excess in amount. Then this method is used. Then this open vessel is used only when the sample size is greater than 5 to 6 gram. Okay, so when sample size is greater, then this open vessel digestion system is used. Then microwave dry ashing technique. Okay, so microwave ashing can be done for wet analysis and for dry analysis. Then there are again two types: microwave wet ashing are of two types, closed vessel and open vessel. The main second type is microwave dry ashing. In microwave dry ashing, this technique is generally useful because the time required for the analysis is very less as compared to the routine or conventional dry ashing technique. In routine conventional dry ashing technique, we are using muffle furnace, and in that muffle furnace, very high temperature is required for overnight, or it generally requires 12 to 18 hours for that analysis. But in case of microwave analysis, microwave dry ashing, the time is reduced about 97%. 97% time is reduced, means if dry ashing requires 100 hours, 100 hours. For example, I am taking for example, if routine or conventional hashing is taking 100 hours for hashing analysis, but microwave analysis can take only 3 hours. So this is the meaning that how the time is reduced to 97%. Then the temperature can be raised here up to 1200 degrees Celsius. So such a high temperature can be utilized, can be adjusted here. Then in this case, the time, pressure and temperature are all in automated system. So that's why we can arrange all these as per our samples need. Okay, these microwave dry hashing equipments are equipped with exhaust and scrubber. Exhaust and scrubber are they are also equipped with this microwave dry hashing machines. So exhaust is generally used to give a flow of dry air to that crucible in which we are using here, in which we have taken the sample for the analysis. Generally the crucibles are used the crucibles that we have discussed in the last lecture. The same crucibles are used, that is gauge crucible, then steel crucibles, then porcelain crucibles. All such types can be used here for this microwave dry hashing technique. Okay. So these are the some advantages of this microwave dry hashing over the conventional dry hashing technique, and in this way we have covered all our topics under the title ash analysis. Okay, so ash analysis can be a very important analysis part in the food analysis. That's why there are what are the different methods for this ash techniques, what is meant by ash, what are the alternative techniques. There are two routine techniques, wet analysis and dry analysis. These are conventional and routine techniques, and the alternative is that we can use microwave digestion or microwave ash analysis can be done. There are again two types, microwave wet hashing and microwave dry hashing. Microwave hashing, wet hashing is of again two types, closed vessel and open vessel. Okay, so this is the all about the ash analysis part of our syllabus. Okay, so thank you for seeing this video, watching this video. Okay, have a nice day.